Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. So it's like 11:30ish in the morning right now, and damn, it's gonna be hot today. And when I got here, it was a little bit past 10, and it was already 85ish. And it feels like it's already past 90 right now. They said it was gonna be over 100 degrees today, upwards of 111 or so. I don't know. We'll find out soon, but I'm gonna try to keep this short because I don't want to melt out here. So today I want to talk about a topic that I've been wanting to talk about for a while, and it just never happened up until this point. And what that is I want to talk about the ether. This is something you don't usually see a lot of people talking about this subject. And let me explain to you what is the ether. The ether, the best way to describe it, to sort of like make an easy example out of it, is you know how we have the internet, and it's something that's man-made. We made it, right? Throughout the years, as technology advanced, it's gotten better. You could compare the ether to the internet in the sense that it's this invisible, ever-present energy that exists everywhere, all around us, that is a part of everything in the known and unknown universe, because there are things about the universe that we haven't found out about yet, we haven't discovered yet, we haven't unveiled yet, right? There are other planes of existence, other realms, uh, different universes than our own. And all of these things, the ether is a part of it. The ether connects to everything. Everything that is a part of creation, the universe, like I said, known and unknown, the ether is a part of. So you could say it's kind of like the cosmic internet, so to speak. That's the easiest way to describe it. And it's a very powerful source of information for those who are actually capable of achieving the proper level of consciousness and awareness and maintain it. Then it is possible for a person to access many parts of the ether that exist, and then verify all kinds of things about the nature of this universe that we live in. So what a lot of people like to categorize and call it, the enlightened beings. I'm not a fan of that classification and label, but it's just how we know it, how we call it. Those people, they have access to the ether, and they can freely travel through it, access it, research it, and do whatever they want to do. So that's what the ether is. It's this vast, invisible ocean of energy, and it's more like an informational field, so to speak, right? That connects everything and everyone that is a part of creation and the universe itself. That is the ether. That is the easiest way to explain what the ether is. And there have been people throughout our history, such as Nikola Tesla, that understood a lot of these principles very well and worked with it to be able to harness energy, free energy out of the ether itself, because that energy is always there. And that energy can be harnessed and utilized for, our own well being. And he figured a lot of that stuff out. I've talked about him in some of my videos in the past, how Tesla, he was way ahead of his time and he figured things out like wireless electricity and all kinds of other things that he looked into it and he worked on it because he understood some of these basic principles and not so basic and much deeper principles of how the universe interacts and how we interact with the ether and this energy that exists and is always there. And although we can't see it, it's been proven through scientific research like his own and from others that have come after him that this is real and it exists. You have places like the hadron colliders that exist around the world. They're doing all kinds of crazy stuff of their own accord, messing with things that they don't understand and probably causing all kinds of ripple effects that may be the cause of a lot of problems that we have in the world today. We don't really know what kind of effects these things have because we don't understand these things enough to be messing with them the way some people are messing with them. So it is very important for us to understand the nature of these things before we begin tapping into them and messing with them the way that some of us do. Right? It's kind of reckless and irresponsible to do so. You don't mess with something you don't understand, not knowing what kind of, you know, repercussion side effect that may have in the short and long term. But it's just the way human beings are, right? We have this curiosity thing about us that is a very good thing, but there also has to be the responsible, the responsible thing about it all too. Because if we do some of these things in a responsible manner, there will be issues that come from it. And that's pretty much it. So the ether is, think of it as if you are in an environment like this here, like under the ground, there is this mesh of never ending mushrooms that exist that connect everything in an ecological space like this one here. Any woods, any forest, they all work the same way. The things that we can't see that are underground, they are keeping everything connected, every root system, everything. So it's almost as if the entire forest is one living entity, even though the trees are all, you know, individual beings themselves. And the ether works the same way. And this is why a lot of people say that we are all one and we are all connected. This comes from this understanding of the ether and what the ether is and what the ether does, because that is what it does. Because the ether itself is connected to everything that there is a part of the creation. I love talking about these things. It's fascinating. There are so many things about this realm and this reality that we are so far from even having any minor grasping of or understanding of what it is, how it works, what it does, and all these things, right? And the reason why it's been like that for a very long time is because most people, they don't have the level of consciousness and awareness to truly be able to understand these things and access them to do the proper research that would be necessary for that understanding to come about. So this was a video more aching to the philosophical aspect of life, the universe itself, and how everything works. And then every time that someone like Tesla comes about into this world, which is very rare, right? That doesn't happen every day. And they begin to figure some of these things out and they want to use it to help the whole world. It's suppressed. It's hidden, sometimes forgot about, forgotten. Sometimes it's destroyed. Sometimes it's the research is destroyed. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Eric Dollard. I think that's his last name. And he was very much, he's still alive. He's very much kind of like Tesla type of guy. And he figured out a lot of these things. He did work on the same type of work that Tesla did. He was able to recreate a lot of the things that Tesla did himself. And then he figured some things out on his own as well. And all of his work was destroyed. Every time he would set up a lab, try to do more stuff, try to figure more things out. One of the three letter agencies, I don't remember which one it was, it doesn't matter. They would come and destroy all his stuff. And it got to the point that he gave up on it. He said it's not worth it, you know, because you are ostracized. You are. They make sure that they make your life a living hell if you want to pursue something like that, because there are many people out there that don't want this type of information to come out. People don't want us to be able to have things like free energy and stuff like that, because it goes against the whole way the system was designed to keep us in this perpetual state of, you know, work your whole life, slave mode type of thing, and never see things outside of that. And that's one of the biggest problems that the world has, right? We're all too busy trying to survive and pay our bills, and that's pretty much how most people live their lives. But despite all of that, the ether will always be here, will always exist, and it's always going to be a part of the known and unknown universe that we live in, because it's how this whole thing was designed and created. Just because you cannot see it, perceive it, or understand it, acknowledge it, doesn't mean it's not real, doesn't mean it's not there, because it's been there and it's always going to be there. And everyone can verify these things if they have the proper um, development, spiritually speaking, right? That's all that there is to it. Everyone can develop these things, everyone can access these things, but very few ever do. And be very mindful too. There are many people out there claiming that they can do a lot of things that they are not doing it, and they're full of crap. Discernment is extremely important when it comes down to these things. Make sure you listen to your heart, follow your heart. That is of paramount importance, because by doing that, you will be able to see these things right away, and you will be able to distinguish people who are not authentic and are not speaking truthful things from those that are. It's that simple. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure these things out. You just have to be aware and be living in the moment. That's all it really takes. So with that said, this is really all I wanted to talk about today on this topic of the ether and what the ether is. Because I think these things need to be spoken about more. People don't know about these things, and it's people don't talk about these things much at all. And this is a very important part of the universe that we need to learn and understand better, and much more research needs to be done into it so we can begin to figure things out. So that humanity gets better, right? And that's it. So that's the message for today, my friends. If you like the channel, if you like the message, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, hit the share button, and all that good stuff. It helps the channel grow and reach more people, and that's the only reason why I make these videos. So with that said, be safe, take care, stay cool if you're in a hot place like I am, and take care of yourself. I will catch you all on the next one, okay?